People are so afraid to be seen failing, to be seen starting at zero, because that feels like you're failing. It feels like you're exposed. It feels like you're vulnerable. But in actuality, starting at zero is so fucking powerful. Zero subscribers, zero followers, $0. People feel ashamed of that when esoterically, zero means infinite potential. In the Kabbalah, zero represents the nothingness before creation. In Taoism, it represents source. In tarot, it represents the full. It's the beginning. It's a soul unburdened by human limitations, unburdened by limiting beliefs. The soul being fully expressed, returning to oneness and becoming one with all of your desires. That's what zero represents. I say that to say, do not be afraid to start that new venture that you have on your heart and your soul. Don't be afraid of starting at zero. Don't be afraid of being seen starting so small because you are about to experience boundless potential. I mean, I think about one of the biggest podcasters who gets paid really well and who has a huge YouTube following now. I remember listening to his first podcast, like now that he's famous. I listened to his first podcast and it was so bad. It was so bad. Like, I'm not going to call him out, but it was like, hey, I'm a yogi and yeah, I want to talk about cool stuff. Like, let's manifest stuff. Like, and now he's so eloquent, so embodied. His presence is so powerful, but you can see the evolution from this corny kid who doesn't really know anything up into this professional in his own way, because he's not conforming to societal norms, right? He's like a hippie and he has like the long hair and the long beard and he talks about doing drugs all the time and people bash him for it, but he's still who he is. You see what I'm saying? But I say that to say that I'm sure that yogi who started that podcast, I was like, yeah, bro, this is me. I hope this is, I'm sure that person didn't expect to get to where he is now, where he's getting paid to do podcasts, where he has millions of subscribers. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't want you to be afraid to start, because here's the thing. If you don't start what you actually want to do, like, okay, some people are so afraid to give themselves permissions to actually do what they want to do. You know, I had a client once who, and you might be watching this, and if you are, you know that I love you. I had a client once who told me that they would love to teach manifestation, teach on books like The Secret, right? That would be so fun. And I was like, okay, so why don't you do that? And this person said they would rather start a YouTube channel with an unrelated topic. And I know how this journey goes. I know how it goes because I've lived it. I've lived it. Okay, so you're gonna go on this whole fucking journey trying to fit into the matrix, trying to do something that's more acceptable, trying to do something that's not as out there, right? I started my first company was GradMap, right? Because I was an academic advisor. I was helping kids with scholarships and things. So that was my matrix job. So I was like, okay, if I was going to have the time freedom, have the money freedom that I want, I need to start my own business. And the first thing that I was like, okay, this is what I get paid to do now. So that's what I should do. And then it kind of evolves. And then I was, teaching people how to build generational wealth, invest in the stock market, all of that. So I'm doing all of these things, avoiding the truth inside of me, right? Because I'm like, I did the research, like, oh my God, the most women who are millionaires sell life insurance or whatever. It was something weird like that. You always find whatever your mind wants to support, whatever your brain wants you to believe. Like that's the evidence that you're going to find out in the world. So I thought to myself, I have to be in financial services if I ever hope to make a lot of money. And oh, I'm really interested in it. Like building wealth is kind of interesting, right? The strategy part behind it is kind of interesting. So, okay, I was coaching that for a while, helping people invest in stocks, build their credit, all of that. But there was an aching inside of me. And that was actually when I made the most money online as well. But there was like this ache inside of me, and I was like, oh, fuck, like I don't want to have to like straighten my hair and cut my hair and like wear a blazer and be like, even if I wore a pink suit with my cleavage, it still felt like performance, like teaching people how to invest in stocks. Oh my God. Like, yes, it's important. It is, but that's not what my soul came here to do. So I spent so many times, like I remember like quitting, and then going back to selling life insurance actually as well. So like being a money coach, all of that. Like I remember quitting and then like feeling so relieved, like because I wasn't going to do it anymore. And then going back because I felt guilty, like, oh, well, I still have to help this person, or I really need to help like, people of color learn how to manage their money because they would never know how to do this without me, that savior complex bullshit. It's just, they're just excuses. You're gonna keep finding excuse to do stuff that you kind of like to do instead of doing what actually sets your soul on fire, which feels the most natural, which feels the most you. Like just give yourself permission to do it, to be yourself. You know what I mean? I created this channel for the wrong reasons. I was doing my best to embody my midheaven. My midheaven is in Capricorn. So it's ruled by Saturn. And they say that when you embody your chart ruler's archetype, so in this case, Saturn rules Capricorn, which rules my chart, right? If you're looking at it that way. When you embody the archetype of your midheaven, for example, that's when you experience success. So I brought back the podcast and the YouTube channel because I thought to myself, like Saturn rewards consistency. It rewards creating a legacy. So I'm starting to build out my body of work. So like that person who I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, that guy who went from being like having a trash podcast to blowing up and becoming like a major household name, like you're watching that in real time. And the cool thing about it is you now have given yourself permission to pursue, to walk this path, to walk the path of living in complete alignment with your soul. You have just given yourself permission by participating in this transmission. Congratulations. Oh, congratulations. Didn't think we were going to go there, did you? Yeah, so starting at zero is truly magical. It really is. Walking away from a career in financial services, being a money coach, selling life insurance. I remember the day I decided I would walk away. I was like, I just want to wear my hair curly and be under a waterfall and be on shrooms. You know what I mean? Like that's the truth. That is the truth. I wish I could be like really free and that's like who I actually am. And the idea of working in financial services and still being like 100% true to myself didn't feel realistic to me. So I created this business around astrology that I love, around human design, around knowing who you are, around motivating and activating people, which is the one thing that I've done naturally my entire life. So anyway, that's what I want for you. That is what I want for you. Like I truly, truly, truly I want you to reach Jesus level, Tony Robbins level, fucking Britney Spears. Like I'm not here to play small. We're not here to shrink. We're not. Because when I had my nonprofit and rape culture and we fucking blew up, like I said, the numbers were, everything was irrational. None of it made sense. We fucking blew up in like a year and a half. We did so much cool shit. When I started my nonprofit, I told my mom it's going to be the best in the world, the best in the fucking world. And she was like, well, they don't really make money. I was like, I'm not really concerned with that. But actually, nonprofit, like executive directors do make some of the most money. Like, there's people who make millions of dollars a year, you know, with a nonprofit. And I was like, I'm going to be the best in the world. And did we get to be the best in the world? No. Like COVID completely shut down our operation because most of what we did was in person rape prevention workshops, in person self-defense classes, in person, like the slut walk, which was our biggest event, 400 plus attendees in California. Right. So I say that to say, reach for the stars, reach for the absolute stars, because I was able to do that in a year, a little over a year. And I'm telling you, it was a minimal effort on my part. Everything just fell into place for me, everything. So I say that to say, believe in your vision, hold your vision, give yourself permission to lead with your vision, with what you actually want, with who you actually are. Give yourself permission to be all of that. And you are going to reach new levels because the people who don't compromise who they are the people who become the fucking Bad Bunnies, number one selling artist in the world. And he got there by being him, by doing him. I mean, this guy is a reggaeton artist, which I'm sure you know. But it's like he kissed a guy on stage. He wears nail polish and he's like a hard rapper, like in a very like you know what I mean? Like people, like Hispanic people are really like macho and like anti-gay and stuff. Not all, but a lot of men are. So it's like to be able to do that and still have street cred and still, I mean, obviously his music is amazing, but I say that to say like the more you are and the more you don't compromise on who you actually are, that's what's going to get you far. It's like embrace the weird, embrace the like yeah, queer too. If you're queer, that's cool, bro. Embrace whatever it is about you that you think makes you weird or different because people want to see that. People resonate with that. They see the human in you. And it's just like when I was a money coach, I had to dress a certain way, and I had to speak a certain way. And clients expected that. Okay. But when I show up here and I am being myself and I am not performing, you see what I'm saying? It's a very different energy. So anyone who purchases my course or whatever it is that I'm selling and actually gets to interact with me or reading, right? I don't have to put on an act for them. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get me. Like you book me, you're gonna get me. That's what you're getting. You're not getting like a fucking robot. You know what I mean? So I say that to say, like, are you calling in the right people with the business that you want to move forward with, or the nonprofit or the movement that you're creating? Like, do you feel like you have to perform or you have to be different? Like in order to attract clients or attract followers or attract whoever or whatever it is that you desire, do you feel like you have to be anything other than yourself? Because if you do, that's like a huge red flag. Like that's not what you're supposed to be doing. So the gap between the life you truly desire and the life you want to live, and I'm talking about everything like wealth, fulfillment, happiness, relationships. The gap, the thing that's missing is that you're not aligned with your soul gifts, with your soul wealth codes. You're not aligning with your soul tribe, with your soul mate, all of which will come when you align with your soul's destiny. That's what I help you do. So I'm actually reworking my offer, which I know for those of you who are a bit like follow me, because I know there's a handful of you who are like on it. But yes, I've been changing my offer quite a bit and it's going to be really good. But I just get the feeling that I have to go high ticket. I have to. And talking to my husband, he's like, babe, you're like a bespoke suit. And I was like, you're so right. Like everything I do is deeply personal, deeply personal. It's very personalized. I mean, we're looking deep into your human design charts, into your birth chart, and just I'm looking into your soul. I'm looking into your soul. And I genuinely don't have the capacity to do that for so many people. That's why originally I wanted to do like a course, but I just feel like the course is not going to hit the same. So I really want to be hands-on with the mentorship. I really want to create the huge transformation that I know you're capable of. I want to walk you through it. I want to hold your hand. I want to hold you accountable. And the best way for me to do that is to take on 2 or 3 people max. And then, of course, that's going to require like a high ticket price because you're getting a high ticket transformation and a high ticket experience. It's like I always say, my activations are not world class, they are universe class. And my reviews go crazy. So actually, I'm going to start posting some of my reviews. Don't be afraid to start at 0 because all that you're doing is you're prolonging this. Because if you just put it off and put it off and put it off, you're going to be on your deathbed. You're going to fucking regret that you didn't go after your dreams. And then guess what? You're going to reincarnate and go through all the same shit and do this over and over again. So it's like, let's cut the bullshit and literally just skip the line, start living your soul gift, start actually being you, start seeing like what that feels like. All the opportunities are gonna align, like the right partner, the right business, the right friends, just the right amount of money. Everything's gonna work out for you because you are aligned with your soul's destiny. Okay, that is it for me. I will see you next week. I love you.